Well, so I suppose I should say welcome to Trews Reports, which is the channel that you're now curating, a second Trews channel, John Rogers. What is your channel?
My channel is going to be called Trews Reports.
What's the first thing you're going to report on, Johnny?
First thing I'm reporting on is something you raised actually in a previous video, the issue of the New Era estate, which I first met Danielle, who you'll see in this video, down at the Carpenter's estate when we were visiting the Focus E15 mums.
A vintage Trews episode, many have said, John, to which you contributed. Okay, so we're going to learn more about the New Era estate. Subscribe to Trews, subscribe to Trews Reports, and let's have a look at your film, right, where we're going to learn more about this.
So this is the New Era estate in Hoxton in East London, which has recently just been bought by a consortium of multi-millionaire property developers, including Britain's richest MP, the Tory Richard Benyon. Now, the residents here face the prospect of either having their rents increased 3-4 times, even more than what they're currently paying, or being evicted and effectively made homeless and displaced from the area.
Over the last 2 years, the New Era estate was put up for sale and recently been bought by a consortium of private investors, which has already increased our rent by £200 a month, and that's set to increase in 2016 to market value. For those that don't know, market value is £600 a week. To put it a bit in perspective, you've got to be earning around £100 a year to be able to afford the type of rents that they want to charge us.
But see, they're so crafty. They're not telling us they're throwing us out, but straight away they told us that we're going to have to pay market rents. So round here, it's just impossible, the rents round here.
What did the new owners say when you told them that you obviously wouldn't be able to afford market rates and this would mean that you would be going to live in hostels?
His original reaction was that when people can't afford to pay the rent, they go. But I think what he misunderstood is that we ain't got nowhere else to go.
My son lives in here as well. Not in this flat, he's got his own flat. He's been a great help to me. They asked my son, when the council interviewed him the other day, would he consider living with me? He's 47. And then they said to him, would your mum like to move to Clacton? Who do I know in Clacton?
Tell you where's nice, Clacton. Didn't they just vote in UKIP? Okay, I don't know, Berlin?
Before I lived in the area as well, in Hoxton, Shoreditch area. Just put my name down on the council list, but because I work and like a single white male working, kind of been told I've got not much of a hope of getting on the list. My best option would be to move out of London away from my children, and it's all down to the new rent increases, and the projected ones for a year and a half's time is £600 a week. So I can't afford £2,500 a month. No one can.
It's just heartbreaking to think that we're all going to be pushed out into somewhere that we don't know. We know our neighbours. We've got everything local, and I've been born and bred here. Here, I was only born in Western Road. So that's as far as I've been in this circle, and the thought of moving out, being away from my neighbours and family is just, well, it's making us all ill, to be honest. It's just making us not well.
They put all of us into a false sense of security. They didn't tell us personally, but it was told through somebody else to tell us. Not to worry, it was being sold, but none of us are to worry, because it was being sold to a like-minded company as them, who are socially minded. So we all thought, well, we're going to be all right. All we're going to have is a new landlord. And then we heard the reason it was sold, one of them died. I don't know if it was family or the partner, and their share they left to a charity. And it's the charity that wanted their money. That's why it had to be sold. So how diabolical is that?
Well, there's a 2-week clause in our contracts and our leases, which means that we can be evicted within 2 weeks, and he suggests on many occasions that that's what would happen.
We said to Edward Benyon, if you've got any morals or any decent bone in your body, you would pull out of this, because you are wrecking people's lives. For 10%, you'd pull out. I'm sorry, you would. You wouldn't ruin 92 people's lives and their families' lives for 10% of a bit of money when you've already got a load of money. Why do you need it? Why did you need to come and buy our little estate? Why do you just not leave us alone?
So, like, 92 families' lives are being affected because Edward Benyon, who's already an extremely wealthy man, brother of the wealthiest MP in our country, partnered up with Westbrook, a massive development firm. For them to have yet more money, the lives of these 92 families are being destroyed.
Yes, absolutely. And what's interesting as well is that although the rents currently being paid are below market rents, they still deliver a significant premium. So people are still making,
So this is actually just greed.
They're already making, it's a profitable business as it stands.
Why can't they just be happy with their profitable business and leave it as it is? Is that what we want?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, brilliant.
We can't help it that we happen to be living in a up-and-coming area now, and it is lovely. We're all for progress, but not at the expense of our lives. The families, and that's just what it's like in it. It's been absolutely horrendous. It's like somebody's thrown a black net over the flats. The young girls with their children, they're all worried. I mean, everybody was crying at first. All the men were angry. It's been really awful.
We set up a campaign to try and fight against what's happening to us. We all feel very strongly about the situation. We've had a lot of support from people who are in similar situations who feel the same way, who are just sick to death of it. They're fed up of being pushed out of London. People now feel that London is just for people that have got money, and lots of it. I think it's a situation that people can empathise with. I mean, the bottom line is we're just normal people. We go to work, we earn a normal wage, and suddenly our lives have been ripped apart and turned upside down, and we're suddenly being told that we no longer have the right to stay in an area where we were born, where our families were born, and where our friends are.
But it should be everybody's right to have somewhere to live. That's the fundamental point of it. Is why should we be pushed out of our area with our community and our family, a place that we love and we've grown up in, and our children will grow up in, or we'd like our children to grow up in, to then come and be taken out by people with bundles of cash and leave us homeless.
So what are you asking for? What do you want to happen?
Basically, the bottom line is we want Edward Benyon and his associates to offer us long-term affordable rents on long-term leases. Or we would also, if he's not prepared to do that, what we're asking him is to sell the estate to somebody with
that ethos, someone that can keep us on a social rent,
long-term social rent, so that we know our homes are safe. That's what we're asking. And as much as this is going to affect us all, when it has, it's plain to say. I think the bottom line is what we want people to know is that we're not going to go without a fight. We're here to stay. These are our homes, and I want Edward Benyon to know, and his associates to know, that we're not going anywhere. And he may have underestimated the residents of the New Era estate.
If you want to support the New Era campaign, there's information of how you could do that in the description box. That's where it is.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the news. If the news was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.
Report!